beaches of Daytona, race 2 of the Core League heads to its first short track of the year. Welcome to Core On MDK's coverage of the Iceberg 200 from Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. Cody Hicken made a statement last weekend by winning his first core race at the World Center of Racing, but will he be able to continue the momentum under the lights here tonight? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 of Core On MDK Crew show. We are coming to you from the Richmond Raceway to get ready for tonight's Iceberg 200. I'm joined here, as always, with the 2019 champion of the Summer Showdown, Cody Workman. How you doing today, Cody?
Good. I love how you always are reminding people of that. But
I got it, man. It was an inaugural thing. I have to mention it.
I know. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm just grateful every day that I'm here with you, helping break down this season, and we're one race into this 17-race season. It should be a blast.
Well, judging by how the reception we got from last weekend at Daytona, a lot of people enjoyed the broadcast. Hopefully, we're going to be bringing some new things in future episodes. For example, unveiling a new graphic for this episode of the Core pre-race show. On the bottom of the screen will be a little news to notes program. Every driver that will come across the screen will have little statistics like how good they ran last week in Daytona, where are they in points, and other informational stats to give you up to date on all the drivers in the Core League for Season 2. So it's going to be a shorter edition of it. We don't have a lot of things to talk about here, but we do have a lot of storylines regarding what took place within the race for drivers like Rusty Walrus, Jarrett Lundberg, and others. After one race at Daytona, Cody Hicken scored his first ever Core League victory, and he takes a points lead with a 21-point lead. Second place is Michael Cosi Jr., who I believe led the most laps with a 3-point deficit in second place. Third is Darian Gilliam with 4 points behind, as well as Ed Soundhead in fourth place. Right out the top 5 is Jarrett Lundberg in the 88 car with a 6-point deficit. Position number 6 is Brian Pasternak, 7 points behind. Number 7 is Ryan Labonte, last year's Daytona 250 champion, 9 points behind. 8th place is Devin Cornelius, the Canadian, in his rookie year, 12 points behind in 8th place. Rusty Wallace in 9th with a 13-point deficit. And right out the top 10 is Joseph Lombard with 13 points behind, as well as Jonathan Ramos in 11th. The defending Core League champion, Dale Reynolds, in 12th place, 15 points behind. Brendan Littell in 13th, 16 points behind. Trey Normal in 14th, 19 points behind. And then rounding out the top 15, 16, and 17, Caleb Hoffman and Jake Basketer, both with a 20-point deficit, as well as Joey Stone, 17th in points, 26 points behind, due to him, not only did he not compete last week in Daytona, but he also is suffering from a 5-point penalty due to an incident between you and Joey in the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, that was a few months ago. Let's not talk about. We can maybe bring that up when we get to Iowa later in the season.
Just think about this: if Joey Stone does not win this championship, it's going to be because of you. Just think about that.
If it's by 5 points.
If it's by 5 points.
If it's by 5
points, Floppy Nation is going to be coming after you.
Oh no! Don't give them any ideas, Jet. We don't need this.
All right. Well, let's move on to last week at Daytona. What were the drivers that surprised you after last weekend's race?
Well, obviously, race winner Cody Hicken. We all know he wasn't the strongest driver last year, and as soon as that green flag fell on his dual race, we saw this type of personality and just driving style that Cody Hicken had, and it is aggressive every lap, do what I have to do to get into a position. And his trademark move that we discussed it all last weekend is his 4-wide pass down to the bottom through the tri-oval, going through the turn 1 and grabbing that lead. And then we saw too, towards the end of that race, and what I think was the key move of the race-winning move of the race, is he stayed out, banking that they were going to have more cautions and that he could save some fuel under those cautions. And we had about 5-6 cautions in a row, and he's able to save a bunch of fuel. And once he got that lead, he never lost it. And so that type of aggressive driving style is what got him the win. Now, obviously, it was a plate track where literally anyone has a chance to win at those races, and it'll be interesting seeing when we go to races tonight, like Richmond, like Darlington, like these road courses coming up, where those are more drivers' racetrack, where you'll see more of the driver's skill over than just their ability to stay in the draft. But so far, great start for Cody Hicken. Also, Michael Cossey Jr., he was strong in the duels, the shootout, and the 500, or not the 500, the 250 last week, and he led like the first third of the race. So once again, as a draft track, it's still kind of difficult to see, who are the guys to watch out for, who are some guys in trouble at the beginning of the season with only one race under our belts, with it being a plate track. But so far, you got some guys making a name for themselves.
And a couple of drivers that we need to discuss that were on the bad end of the stick, that was in a lot of controversy, specifically with Rusty Walrus calling in his live stream, basically nearly half the field clowns. As a driver, do you think it's a good idea for him to be calling out so many people this early on in the season?
Yeah, and I will definitely make sure to get to that in a future segment coming up here shortly. But yeah, I cannot stress enough how guys need to look at the big picture here. It's not just one race. This is a 17-race season that these guys are going through with, the combination of a couple exhibition events like the Pro Bowl and the All-Star race coming up. But yeah, guys need to think big picture here. They need to think about themselves before trying to, make enemies on the track or off track, as we saw a couple guys going at it on Twitter a couple days later. So obviously, tensions are high, and specifically with Rusty too, like a lot of people have been talking about, he is a guy that a lot of people are pointing their fingers at as a guy that could do really well this season just because of how well that he's improved off track in his live streams and online lives and everything. So obviously there's that type of pressure, but not just for him, but for just everyone in general. The big thing is guys need to think big picture and remember, hey, it was Daytona. It was the first race of the season after a close to 9-month off season for a lot of these guys. And yeah, we had the summer showdown, but that was just one race. And I think it was just guys that had a lot of adrenaline and like, hey, pump the brakes, people. Yeah. We got a lot of races here.
Yeah. So with that in mind, so we went over the drivers that surprised you. We went over the drivers that were in a bit of controversy. Now let's take a look at a new segment we're introducing called Your Workman's Power 5. 5 drivers that Cody Workman's going to take a look at after every week and see who you think is doing well for future races this season. So Cody, who you guys your Power 5?
Well, obviously, like, it's kind of difficult with the only one race under our belt right now, but let's go on down the list here. We have number 1, What If Racing. Obviously, like I said, only one race of the season underneath our belt, but also looking at, obviously going off of last year and the momentum he had. He had a great Days of Thunder over the weekend, and I'm looking for him to keep that momentum going, especially with us going to a short track tonight. He did really well in the 2 short tracks that we had last year. So yeah, he's my number 1 right now. And then really close to him, number 2, Ed Soundhead. He was one of our 2 short track winners last year, and the other short track that he didn't win at, he finished 2nd. So obviously got to look at him, and even though he just came, and he was one of the 3 guys, one of our big 3 from last year. Looking at Cody Hickens, was debating whether or not to put him into the Power 5 for right now, but you just cannot ignore the fact of the aggression level that he had last weekend, and I honestly believe that though it was a plate track, he will show that same aggression as we go throughout the season. 4th is Michael Cossey Jr. I believe that he was kind of off and on through last season, but so far he's had a great start to this season. Through his Days of Thunder, he won his dual race. He came in a close 2nd into the shootout, and overall that race in the 250, he did great until he got shuffled late in that race. And then finally in 5th, I have Dale Reynolds there. He didn't have the strongest showing at Daytona this season, but keeping in mind that, he is our inaugural champion for this league, and the fact that he was extremely consistent everywhere that we went last year. I have him in the 5 as for right now, but if you have some of these guys, like there's some notables that I have on my radar. Joseph Lombard, he's been doing well. drive through a really, really strong rookie who's making some noise. Definitely got to keep an eye on. And then also talked about him before, Rusty Walrus, if he can, if he can control himself
keep his nose clean.
Keep his nose clean. And not that he isn't, dirty or anything. I think like he just needs to get, if he gets frustrated by the clowns or whatnot, just need to think big picture. And if he can kind of keep himself contained as some of these other drivers, they can make their way up there to the top 5.
Absolutely. Now, some drivers you discussed about Brian Pasternak and Ed Sonic competing in tonight's race. Well, they're going to have a few newcomers making their first career start in the Corleys. Take a look at the entry list for tonight's Iceberg 200. Michael Cosi Jr. in the Chevrolet, as well as Brian Pasternak. Ed Soundhead returns for his second race in the 2 car. Jonathan Ramos on the 12 car. Brendan Littell in the 22. Darren Gillum in the 25. Dale Reynolds in the 27. The Daytona 250 winner, Cody Hicken, back in the 28 car. Jake Baskinger once again returns in the 38 car. Making his first career start, Michael Marutz. Pretty sure I said that right. Marutz in the 48 car, making his first career start. The 59 car, Rusty Wallace. The 77 car, Davin Cornelius. The 82 car, Joseph Lombard. Trey Norman, the 85. And running out the entry list is Jarrett Lundberg. So 15 drivers competing, 8 Chevrolets, and 7 Fords. So when you look at that entry list, the only real change is Marutz entering in this race. Speaking of Marutz, I believe in his last 2 core races, he finished 2nd and 1st. I don't believe he's been to a short track so far in the Core League. How do you think he's going to do in his first start?
Well, I think just the fact that, looking at just those 2 races that we had last season he was in. He was at Michigan and he was at Chicagoland. So 2 tracks that, where the draft was really key. And just had to pull a little bit of strategy late to win that Chicagoland race. And there was a hard charge in Dale Reynolds. Maybe one more lap, and we could have seen Dale pick up a win there instead of Michael. But, it'll be interesting to see how he does, just because we haven't seen him on a short track yet. But I think he'll do pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you have some other drivers like Darren Gilliam, who finished 2nd in the Daytona 250. He's been a sleeper, I feel like. He had some good runs last season. How do you think he should do this season in season 2? Currently 2nd in the points. Do you think he's got a good car heading into this weekend at Richmond?
I think so. I think you can definitely figure him into that sleeper category. I believe, I don't have the results for me right now, but I believe he finished just inside of the top 5 there at Bristol last year. Bristol, a really hard track in itself. So obviously, I think he could be a guy to keep on. But also Rod Gator, I think he did not have the weekend at all last week. He was just towards the back of the pack most of the race and finished towards the back. And even though he had a decent car, he just could never figure his way up there. But I think a lot of the guys who you'll see do really well at short tracks will also do well at road courses. And Gator, he is a phenomenal road course racer. And looking back at our Martinsville race from last year, he and Joseph Lombard, they were charging up on Ed Soundhead and Joey Stone, as well as Dale Reynolds late in that race. So I think he is definitely a guy that could be a sleeper pick.
All right, well, before we get into what we expect to take place in tonight's event, you actually went on track with the Core League car, and for the first time ever, the Core League will be entering in a short track race, and for the first time ever, episode 2 of Workman's World, as we take a look on the 3/4 mile racetrack of Richmond Raceway.
Well, this week we're at Richmond, and I have to be honest, I think some of the guys in this series forgot just how long that this series is this year. We have 17 races. Guys last week thought that Daytona was the only race of the season. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let's look at Jarrett Lombard. He freaking hit almost every single vehicle on track. The reason why I don't say every vehicle is because I don't think he hit the pace car. But he hit about every single car out there that was competing for the win. I mean, I'm not a saint. I wrecked the car in my very first episode of this last week. I can't even complete 5 laps at Daytona, and I'm wrecking the Corvette Camaro down the back straightaway. The only guy that seemed to have any sort of patience on his aggression level was Cody Hicken. Cody Hicken, not Caleb Hoffman. Cody Hicken. He was the only guy that could pull aggressive moves and keep his cool. Like I said, these guys got to think big picture here. Big picture. This isn't a 1-race season. This isn't a 3-race season. This is a 17-race season. Guys got to be smart and realizing that they should be focusing more on trying not to make enemies and race for the championship. As far as the track itself, here's the fastest part of the track. Going down to turn number 1, almost 155 miles per hour. Messed up that corner a bit, but guys want to keep it low to that yellow line. Guys are going to really start getting loose here off the exit of these corners as the runs go on. Tire fall off is key here. Want to stay low again, come off this corner. And I will tell you this right now, the guy who ends up winning this race will not be the most aggressive, but it will be the one who keeps his cool the most. And the reward for the guy that keeps his cool the most and winning this race is going to be able to do this. Woo!
Alright, so episode 2, and you didn't wreck the car. Congratulations.
Yeah. Hey, I went through the grass this time, but it was for a different reason.
Yeah, you were celebrating.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the race analysis for tonight's event. 200-lap event. It's going to be a pretty long race with the pit window, 45 to 55 laps on a tank of fuel. But the most interesting part, Cody, is with the tires. Discuss what you took, or you went on the racetrack and did a full race at Richmond, or at least around that distance. What was your experience with the tires, and how do you think the race will play out for real when these 15 drivers go out racing tonight?
Yeah, so I did a little bit more of driving around in the Core League on-track Camaro, and what I found out is I've only done one run, but on a preset 6, after about 10, 11, 12 laps, the back end of that car wanted to keep snapping around. And for some people, like preset 6 is a little bit more conservative. So to be honest, I don't think the fuel where the pit went on tonight is going to be based off of fuel. It's going to be based off of tires. That right rear is just going to be leaned on and slid around so much once we get past the beginning of the run that you're going to see guys either give up some of that short run speed at the beginning with a tighter setup so that right rear could hang on a little bit more and therefore have a little bit more speed in the middle and the end of this run. Or you're going to see guys, just go all out and like try to get as much short run speed as they can and then just try to hang on for the middle end of that run. But I know like there's quite a few guys who around like the 30, 40 lap mark of the run are just trying to hang on to survive. So even though the fuel can last up to about probably 55, 60 laps, tires are basically going to be a bigger issue than fuel.
And I guess normally with how you described your run, whoever conserves their tires the best is probably going to have a shot at winning this thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like I think it's going to be interesting seeing like if we have a late race caution as far as like just like around the outside of the fuel window. If that's the case, I definitely expect people to try to split it right down the middle instead of trying to stretch that out all the way. Because not only would the car get extremely loose, but the tire fall off itself was incredible. About the same time frame too, about 10, 15 laps into a run, car would already be about half a second slower lap times than taking fresh tires. And towards the eventual end of the run, 1.5 to 2 seconds off the beginning of time. So this place eats up tires like mad. So yeah, keys to the race is going to be tires, not as much fuel, but tire management is going to be key tonight.
And with tires wearing out, we should see a lot of comers and goers in this race, which should make it a pretty on the event today. All right, so now for our last segment of this race, pick to win. Last weekend, you said Michael Cosi Jr., who had a really good run, but ultimately came up short. Who you got this weekend at Richmond?
Well, I mentioned it before. We had some guys that were consistent at the short tracks last year. This guy, he ended up winning Martinsville and came in a very close second at Bristol. But I believe that with the great momentum that he had last week in the shootout and the duels, and had a pretty good run too in the 250, I believe that Ed Soundhead will get back on top in victory lane.
Wow, Ed Soundhead. Well, I feel like I should also chip in my pick to win. You were talking about him earlier, how he should keep his nose clean. But I feel like he's going to use that to his advantage because this being a short track, you're going to have to use your bumper a lot. I feel like the 59 car Rusty Walrus, he is going to be using his bumper a lot. Based on how he ran last week in Daytona, was pretty aggressive. You know, not overly aggressive, but he was pretty aggressive. Now we're heading to a track where you sort of have to be aggressive. It's in your favor to make bold moves like that. I feel like Rusty Walrus will, if he doesn't wreck or cause any kinds of chaos, I feel like he might bring the Chevrolet's first career or first victory of Season 2 of the Core League. Well, thank you for joining us, Cody Workman. We're just wrapping up the previous show. Come up next, Season 2, Race 2 of the Core League, the Iceberg 200 from Richmond Raceway. Let's go racing under the lights. You have been watching the Core on MDK Pre-Race show from Richmond Raceway. Now, let's go racing. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race number 2 of the live stream, folks, of the Core League Season 2. We're going to be racing, as you saw in the previous show from Richmond Raceway, a 200-lapper event, the Iceberg 200. Cody Workman will be joining me in just a little bit. He's working out some internet issues. Sorry if I sound a bit congested. Friday, Saturday, no problems, felt great. Sunday comes along, I am sniffling, sneezing, I'm just all over the place. So, if I sound congested, if I'm sniffling a lot, it's allergies. So, yeah, hopefully by Monday it'll be gone. So that by Thursday, when Thursday rolls around, you'll be ready to go for race 3. They're going to be doing qualifying in just around 8 o'clock, I should say. Let's take a look at just some of the comments right now. We're going to be doing something new. Hopefully when Cody Workman comes in, we can kick this off. But for now, if you want us to ask me any questions, whether it's regarding with Core or NASCAR as a whole, use hashtag AskCoreBooth. Either on, for right now, we're going to do this on YouTube. Just ask me any questions. Ask Cody any questions once he comes on. And, so we could fill some time up by the time we get to go racing. That pre-race show was, there was a little issues with the pre-race show, like a little glitchiness. Whenever we cut to like a little montage, it'll be a little glitch with the videos. Hopefully that will be fixed up next time. There was a little problem with the rendering software. I finished that at around 2 p.m. So yeah. Runnings Racing says, who are your top 5? Man, my top 5. Well, I gotta go with the big 3: Ed Soundhead, Brian Pasternak, and Dale Reynolds, the Core League champion. I like Rusty Walrus. He's a good one. And I also like Cody Hicken, making a statement. He made one last week in Daytona. I think he's gonna carry on right now. They are my top 5. Right. Okay. Hashtag AskCoreBooth. PBB Extra Cup Series Season 1 says, is Eric racing tonight? No, he's not racing tonight, unfortunately. Illinois fan says, who invented the Core? Okay. Originally, it was a NASCAR YouTuber Pro Series. It was made up, I believe, by the weekly podcast crew of Black Flags Matter, the Iceberg. And I believe Caleb Hoffman and IDK Player? Yeah, IDK Player, What If Racing. I want to say around those 4 people. I came up with the name Core. So, yeah, I get that name to my recognition. How long do you think Core will be around, says Dylan Vlogs? Hopefully for as long as it can be. For generations. Oh, my. Okay, that Workman just gave it. Hold on. NASCAR Diecast says, do you think will finish last? Who do you think will finish last? Probably Ryan Labonte. Ryan Labonte will finish last. He's just yeah. Alrighty, let me just. Okay, let's see if Racer TV says, do you think that the tire degradation will play a factor tonight? Okay, that's something for you to talk about, Cody.
Yeah, so I did some more. First off, I want to make sure can the chat hear me this time before I start babbling and like they don't hear anything.
All right.
Testing. 1, 2. Chat, can you hear me? Am I getting good feedback?
I think they can hear you.
Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, regarding tire fall off, when you see these guys hitting pit road, they're going to be hitting pit road for tires. They're not going to be hitting pit road for fuel. As far as like whenever I would be driving the car, I was playing around like most of the time around like preset 5, and it gives up a little bit short run speed, but it's better through the middle of the run. But still, like around lap 20 or so, like it was getting extremely loose off the corners. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategies these guys pull off tonight. I know we've seen before in the Monster Energy Cup Series at tracks like Darlington where the tire fall off was so extreme. We had guys that, even though you can make it on 2 pit stops in the final stage, guys were making it 3 pit stops because tire fall off was that huge. And like I said earlier, by the time at the end of a run, you're almost, unless you're hitting your lines perfectly for what your car can do, you are almost 2 full seconds slower at the end of the run here than with fresh tires. So tires are going to be absolutely valuable, and I would not be surprised to see some crazy strategy be pulling out.
All right. Next question. Cole Custer says, what's the full schedule? I don't know the full schedule right off the bat, but I do know, I believe the remaining races this month are next Thursday. They say we're going to Homestead, the Canadian Tire, and I believe then the All-Star race, Eldora. I could be wrong on that last one, but that's what we've got coming up. Roblox Gaming, I think that's how you say it. Do you think Jimmy will win anytime soon? Well, hopefully, yeah. Do I think so? I don't know. What do you think? You think he's going to win?
Talking about Jimmy Johnson? He's going to win?
Yeah.
I hope he does. Like, yeah. I'm not the biggest Jimmy fan, but like, especially when he was like winning all the time, and it was getting annoying. But I mean, just because I like my guy was Dale Jr. and then he retired, and then like my new favorite driver became William Byron, and then I kind of like Chase Elliott, and I'm a decent Alex Bowman fan because he replaced Jr. So I'm kind of more of a Hendrick fan. So yeah, I'd like to see Jimmy win, but I may play realist here and say I don't think he's going to win.
Yeah, me neither. I would like for him to, but I don't see it. All right. Next up, we've got Caleb Hoffman, one of the makers of the core. He said, "Who is your sleeper championship pick?" Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I have to think about mine. Do you have one? We haven't mentioned this guy really at all in broadcast or pre-race shows. Brendan Littell.
Ooh, Littell. He has this amazing. He has this factor about him where he has speed and he has decent cars, but you just really don't notice it. I mean, he was up there in the top 3 a decent amount there at Daytona, and we never really talked about him yet. Now, granted, Daytona is a draft track, but a couple other races from last season, he was doing good. He got that win at Auto Club, I believe, and had some great runs at other tracks. And Auto Club is one of those places where the tire fall off is pretty nasty. So with Richmond being a big tire wear track, who knows? We can see him up there also.
Yeah. My sleeper championship pick, man, I don't know if you could count him as a sleeper pick, but I like Michael Marutz. Not because he's running a 48 car, but let's say if he can do well tonight, then I think he can be a good sleeper. If he can participate in almost all the races, then I believe he might have a shot at having for a championship. I mean, average finish 1.5 second in Michigan, first in Chicagoland, a 2-miler and a 1.5 miler. He might get the job done.
He carries that average finish on his back.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
here's the thing, though. The reason I didn't pick Rich, though, is just, because he's made it known, too, that, he's probably going to be missing a few races, like especially those that are on the weekends.
Yeah.
However, like with the fact of now the schedule, like unlike last year, how it was on Saturday nights every single weekend last season, and now this season we have some Saturday nights, but we also have some midweek races as well. So he's definitely going to be making those, and we'll see if he can not miss too many races. He should be a factor.
All right. Okay, here's a good one. Where was it? Okay. How long will these drivers keep their patience, says Cito Brown. How long do you think they'll keep their patience? Because I feel like probably by the drop of the green flag, they're just going to be aggressive.
Your mic just cut out there for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, do you need me to repeat the question, or do you... Alright, disconnected again. Alright. I think probably maybe halfway, once the tires start to fall off, and not tires start to fall off. Maybe when we get closer to the end, drivers gonna be more aggressive when you start to see them lose their patience a bit.
That.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just want to apologize in advance to chat. Colin's internet is pulling something funky in the past hour. It was fine all day. In the past hour, it's been glitchy. So I'm on hotspot, but so apologize to everyone in advance if I cut in and out. But yeah.
All right. There was one good question here. Where was it?
I was going to give a good answer, and I can't remember what that question was, though.
That's fine. We gotta get a move on, to be honest. Where was it? Okay. Tremendation, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, who do you think will become the biggest rivalry this season?
Well, I'm not on track, so that... Never mind. Well, we've already seen that it was a little bit of a rivalry that developed late in the year last year between Rusty and Jarrett, and that rivalry has gotten off to a wonderful start after one race. So I think you obviously have that rivalry brewing. But as far as from a competition standpoint, I think we could have like our three of what like we saw last year of What If and at Soundhead, and then if he can start making some races here, Joey Stone, he can be up there as far as from a competition standpoint. We can see those guys go after it.
Yeah. All right. Also, Diego Alvarado, another esports driver, is participating in the core league. Okay. Eli Pope says, who is going to be the cleanest driver tonight? That's a...
let's see here. I mean, I feel like What If he does a generally good job of keeping his nose clean.
Yeah.
And now, however, like we've seen before, and actually looking at that Martinsville race for a bit, that when he was kind of riding behind Ed there in those closing laps, like him being a little bit too conservative, he ended up getting moved out of the way. So you can race, like out of here trying to pass, you can try to race him clean all you want, but if he's holding you up, you got to be looking at that guy in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because the guy who's trying to get around you, he may not be as friendly.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like maybe Michael Costi Jr. would be pretty clean. I don't know. This is going off of a limb because it's one race. But yeah, going off of a limb, yeah. I picked Michael Costi Jr. Okay, let's see.
And that's you. I mean, not just a new season, also, but I mean, whole new physical package. Like, I don't think there's been any greater transition from Heat games than there has been from Heat 3 to this Heat 4. So, I mean, a lot of the tracks like on here, you have to drive them totally different than how we've driven them in Heat Evolution, Heat 2, and Heat 3. So that's another huge factor you got to play in.
All right, we got one from Tyreek Elaine. Can there be national anthems and small tributes before the qualifying race? Okay, I don't know. That's gonna be
It's gonna take a lot of work. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do that. We got the pre show in for now. You know, maybe later on we got some new things rolling in, but for now, no. NASCAR diecast. Will someone be suspended? If so, it's IDK player, 100%, or Ryan Labonte, or one incarnation, one of those two, or it could be Caleb Hoffman, because we could have a Martinsville part 2 and say, oh, it was like that on my screen. I'm sorry. He's technically my boss, so I might get fired for saying that. But hey, it's all out of love. All out of love.
Freedom of speech, my friend.
Yeah, freedom of speech. Yeah, that's my right. Well, who do you think?
As far as who he gets suspended, I don't know. I mean, gosh, I'm not sure. Maybe Jarrett, just because he seemed a little bit all over the place. It wasn't intentional, but I think it was just a little bit too aggressive. But yeah, way too early in the season. So with these first 3 races of the season being a plate race and then a short track tonight at Richmond, and then on Thursday heading to an intermediate track in Homestead. I'd say at the end of this week after Homestead, we'll start to get a pretty good idea of the drivers that we need to be keeping an extra eye on, both good and bad.
All right. Racers TV says, do you think this race would be a fustercluck similar to last week? I just want to say thank you, Racers, for censoring yourself. Keep it PG, as always. I had to take a second. Did he? I had to take a second to read that. All right.
I don't think it will. I think part of it too is that last week I know they had strict cautions on, and I may be wrong, but I don't think they have strict cautions on this week. I think it is just relaxed yellow. Short track, I mean, yeah, you expect more bumping and banging, but it's not as big, high-speed bumper and banging. It gives, guys a little bit more. If anything, you got a lot more room in these corners for guys to save it. With guys going 2 and 3 wide at Daytona, there's not a whole lot of room for error there. So, yeah, I think we should see more green flag racing tonight.
All right, we have a good one from Trackmasters Cup Series. He says, do you see any first-time winners this course season? Well, we already have one, Cody Hicken. Yeah, I think we might have 4 or 5. What do you think?
Okay, repeat that. I just had to log back in.
Trackmaster Cup Series says, do you see any first-time winners this course season?
Well, Raw Gator is definitely due for a core win. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Great speed. Just has been on the bad luck, wrong end of things last season, but yeah, he's on great speed. Definitely has. I don't believe Joseph Lombard has won a race yet.
No, he's only won a shootout race.
Yeah, so yeah, he's won that shootout, but he hasn't won a points paint race. So he's definitely due. Those are I believe the next 2 first-time winners that we'll see.
Yeah, I think also maybe just Rusty Wallace won a race? Has he?
No, he hasn't. I believe he didn't even score a top 5 last season.
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. At the end of the season finale at Atlanta last year, he was able to work his way through the pack a bit, and on one of the last restarts, one of the overtime restarts, he restarted on the front row.
Oh.
On the outside. But so yeah, he's getting better and better, but he just keeps getting caught up in traffic in the back, and just things that don't go his way.
All right. Let's see. I skipped over a few because I thought we're gonna get racing tonight. Okay, simple question. Stephen McLaughlin says, how many cautions do you think we will see tonight?
I think it's going to be another, whenever we do get caution, it'll be like a caution, lead caution scenario, especially if we get a caution that comes out with under 30 to go. That's where we could see most of them, just guys pushing. But I'm going to be optimistic and say maybe 6 cautions.
6 cautions. Ooh. Yeah, somewhere around that. I think majority of the caution is going to come for those restarts, in my opinion. Okay.
Especially, too, and another thing I wanted to mention, too, we didn't talk about it. 704, they've done a great job at fixing whatever you get on an apron and spin out.
Yes.
However, this apron, that yellow line, if you touch that here, you slip on the butter. So I think a lot of your wrecks are going to happen. Guys maybe trying to get a little bit too low, they're going to spin out, and then guys right behind them, they're going to pile drive into them. That's where I think you're going to see our cautions tonight.
Ooh, make predictions. All right. Okay, Blue Jimmy 48 fan. Do you offer any suggestions for the pre-race show? Absolutely. We have an idea. We think it's good enough. We're gonna put it in. We already have a new thing we're bringing to the core broadcast. We tried to do it last week in Daytona, but too many cautions. So next weekend or this week, we're gonna try and bring in something new. To sort of remind you of the good old days, that NASCAR horsepower. Racing Fan for Life 18, who do you think will lead the most laps tonight?
I think we're going to have to tell a little bit once we see qualifying order, but I know I picked Ed for the race win, but I think he's going to pull out a decent amount of laps led.
Okay. So I think, like what Cody just said, qualifying just ended. I'm gonna take a look now at the standings. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay, so Dale Reynolds wins pole with a 20.860. Second place is Brendan Littell. Third is Michael Kosey Jr. Fourth is Ed Soundhead. And let's see, the score shows fifth place.
Sorry, by the way, just be watching during the stream.
Okay. All right, can you tell me who finished like fifth? Because I have to look at Black Flags Matter stream. Once it gets to loading, then I can get on.
I'm going to just pull up here. Remember, I'm on limited internet.
Oh yeah, you have. Yes.
Yeah, I got that made in China college internet.
he's got made in China internet. I have allergies. My nose is stuffed up. I'm sniffling.
We're pushing through.
Yeah, we're. Of all the times you could have this, it happens now.
You know, we can jump in yet. Do you have the stream pulled up?
Yep,
yeah. They're in loading screen.
What?
They're in loading screen.
Oh, so I can join?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Watch the live race. All right, we're set to go racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 2019.
You want to send an extra invite to me in case I lag out or something?
Yeah. Iceberg to wait, invite you?
One that way I have one to use in case I lag out or something.
Oh, okay. Alright, waiting. Oh, man. Let's just hope for not a wreck fest like last week at Daytona. You don't think that's going to happen, do you?
Alright, they're coming to the line right here.
Alright, here we go. Green flag. Dale Reynolds out in front. Leads him into turns 1 and 2. Brendan Littell to his outside lane like a little red, white, and blue gobbling forward. Here comes Michael Kosey Jr. inside, and Reynolds just smacked the wall. Oh, who's in the wall?
Mooch went up the track just a little bit. That's going to stack about 6th and 7th place on back, but looks like everything got it together.
We also saw the 38 car, Jake Baskinger. More troubles for the rookie driver. Hits the wall and nowhere near the pack now.
Everything's sort of in the middle, but Mooch gets a little bit of a shot in the toe. I gotta see that. It might be good. I'm not sure, but they're racing pretty rough with Mooch.
Well, they kind of been out on history with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, So it's kind of surprising. Hicken just smacked the wall again as Dale Reynolds still leads with Brendan Littell in second. They got a battle for third place between.
Part of the apron right there.
Oh, went in the wall. Drive through, and who's that sideways? Is that this IDK player? Jonathan Ramos.
IDK. He was looking to the inside of Ed Soundhead, I believe, and talked about right before the green flag flew, he got right on that apron and it spun him around.
Comes to pit road, no caution is out. Remember, this is on relaxed cautions instead of last week in Daytona, which was on strict caution. So something like that would run out of caution.
Worst spot to spin out this racetrack too, because not only you spin out on that apron, but you get low on that apron like that, the computer will pull you down pit road. So he's already lost 1 lap right here. He obviously sped when he hit the apron, so he's going to be down 2 laps here early.
Jump break for Jonathan Ramos. He look up front. Dale Reynolds.
Contact between Joseph Lombard and the one of What If. What If is falling back to the field a bit.
Oh, contact. One car passing hit the wall. Oh. Okay, there's Lombard. Repping new colors, the 82 Hooters, orange and white car.
Up here, someone asked a question, like a potential sleeper for this championship. I mentioned Brendan Littell. He's riding there right in second. Look on his Twitter there for this race start. He said that he feels pretty confident about his car tonight right now, sitting P2.
There's something interesting that happened during the Pure show. I went on NASCAR before and I saw him by himself doing a 200-lap race, just practicing.
Oh, what's that happening in the wall? Sorry to interrupt, but that got really loose off the corner. Joseph Lombard's on his inside a bit, and he got loose and slammed through that wall.
Don't believe he lost any spots on that, but he did lose ground to his competition ahead. So third place, Mark Cosby Jr., then we get Ed Soundhead in 6th place. So you can find some battles here. In single file right now. It looks like Reynolds has opened up that gap to 2nd place.
Yep. Diving down to the inside of, I believe, that is Rod Gator for 7th. He's going to
and in the wall, Rusty Walrus.
Well, if you can keep it going, and then right in front of him, drive through. When you go to that inside of that black car, that may be Darian, I believe. To him, but yep, he gets around Darian for the 9th position, but Darian's going to come right back.
Darian put the bumper to Reynolds to track to look like puts him up the track.
That's pretty early for that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the Prairie show, and these drivers are going to get aggressive. They have to keep their nose clean. You said in Workman's World, but I don't think they're taking your advice lightly.
No, and I would strongly heed for them to listen to what I said. Oh, a little bit of is that a brake check by Darian?
I don't know, but drive you back. Oh, more contact.
And this is quite a bit early for this, but and while they're doing this too, like that just uses up their tires even more. And for a place that's gonna use up tires, like these guys need to be a little bit more smart.
I mean, Darian just body slammed the right side on drive-through off of 2. Keep going, but yeah, that was
yeah, Rusty and Darian got together there a little bit. Rusty trying to attack on the inside, and these guys are losing all types of momentum.
Both in South Point cars. Rusty Walsh from the 59 has more gold on the bottom of his car.
Back of the top 5 here are about positions 2nd through 3rd have tightened up a bit, especially 3rd. Joseph Lombard, the inside of Brendan Littell. Littell looks like he had his mid to long run speed. Car's starting to fall off a little bit.
Side by side. Oh, 3 wide. Ooh. Lombard and Littell made contact there. That allows the one car passenger to jump to 3rd place.
Passenger from 5th to 3rd. What a move. He didn't. I'm curious about that one car. He didn't take off that well to be winning this race, but I gotta imagine he's probably using a lower preset, so definitely 5, maybe even a 4, because lower preset, you're not really moving the fastest at the start of the run. But gosh, it did help you in the middle towards the end of the run.
This has been an update, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we have 185 or 84 laps to go, so around 20 laps or so in this event has been completed.
Right here, this is where you're going to see a bunch of guys spinning out here on exit, practically. And I mean, what these guys are going to do to try to manage that is it's not just like, adjustments on pit road, but a lot of it can be driving style. So you don't have to be mashing the gas at full throttle coming off these corners. You may need to skew. You may need to come off these corners half or 3/4 throttle. That way, you're not spinning those tires off exit. That's how you manage your tires. And I'm running on board with Joseph Lombard right now, and he is falling through the back of the pack as well. Michael Ruth gets around him for, I believe, the 6th position, and Lombard falling backwards.
Yeah, Lombard had a good run in Daytona 500, or 250, I should say, was running up front for the majority of the race. Michael Ruth competing in his first start, picked up 2 or 3 spots so far.
I think up front leader still Dale Reynolds. He's led every lap here so far, but that 00 car of Michael Cossie Jr.
Yeah, that gap is closing.
Yep, he's keeping pace. I think he's close at about a 10th or 2 per lap.
Oh, and we just cut to Jake Baskinger, who spins right in front of the leader. Oh, that could have been very scary.
Knocked it down, and then once he was able to, he pulled straight down to the bottom of the racetrack. Good move by him at least to try to minimize whatever damage he could get and try to minimize any effect on anyone else. But yeah, it doesn't look like that slowed down our top too much. The gap's still about the same, but really good driving right there on Costi. He closed it through about 2 car lengths.
Costi closing in on race leader Dale Reynolds. Looks like about, actually might come down to around 2-3 tenths of a second now. Remember, he had a gap of 1.1 just 2 or 3 laps ago, and now Costi Jr., he has closed that gap tremendously.
It'll be interesting to see here once he gets to his back bumper, because I believe laps here, but it's going to be interesting. How many laps were already on fuel? But remember the fuel window, or not the fuel window, but the pit window here, 45 to 55 laps. I believe you can go maybe just a little bit farther than that on fuel, but I honestly don't believe the tires can last it that long, depending on how hard these guys are pushing it.
Right now we're taking a look. I'm taking a look at right now at Dale Reynolds and his statistical stats about his car. He has 35 laps with estimated fuel remaining, and he's used up a good amount of that right side, 71% on the right front and 63% on the right rear. And maybe that's why we see Costi Jr. closing in that gap so much. Probably the 00 car has conserved his tires a lot more than Reynolds.
Yeah, that's, I think, Costi, he has he's a lot smarter than I think a lot of people think as far as, being able to, driving style. And, I mean, when you're running these races, not only do you have to have a fast car and set up to how you drive your car, especially with this new package that's on T40. It's a lot more rewarding to you as a driver if you choose to save your stuff a little bit earlier in the run, and you'll be rewarded with a little bit more late run speed.
Looks like the gap has maintained for a little bit. And actually, those 2 drivers have opened up a huge gap on 3rd place, Brian Pasternak. Looks like Costi closing in now.
A little bit of a couple different lines here that Dale and Costi are running. What I noticed Dale's done the past few laps is he enters turn 1 a little bit higher, but he's going to cut down and diamond that exit of the corner, but he couldn't.
Here he comes, side by side for the lead. And entering 3, Reynolds does a wise move, lets him go. Costi Jr. out in front here at Richmond. Becomes the 2nd different leader of this race. So now, okay, let's put yourself in Reynolds' shoes. So now you've let Costi the lead. Are you going to try and get it back, or are you just trying to stay put for this time being until Green Flag pit stops take place?
I just stay put because when you're racing people, that uses more tires in itself. So you don't want to allow them to get away, but you want to try what you can do to keep pace with them without using your stuff up. The rate that these guys are going now, if they can make it to lap 50, remember this is a 200 lap race, and with the window, IDK player hits the wall right in front of him. He's going to stay at the top of the racetrack, though.
Turns to forward. I hit the wall right next to 3rd place driver Brian Pasternak. No caution. Everything goes by.
Yeah, well, with the pit window being 45 to 55 laps, if these guys can have their tires hang on till that lap 50 mark, these guys are going to hope to make it a 3-stop race, assuming everything goes green.
So the top 2 get by. Jake Baskinger, I believe he went 2 laps down that time by. Tough work for that 38 car. Really had an awful race at Daytona, and now tonight, not looking much better.
So I'm going to scroll back through the field here a little bit. It looks like a lot of people are pretty spread out. We got a battle right now, looks like, between the 82 of the Walmart, of Justin's Walmart, and the 85 Rocket. Oh, IDK right in front of Roots.
Oh.
He was spun up again.
Again? Wow. There he is. I think that's in turn 2. Yeah, turns 1 and 2.
He's definitely finding a handful of handling issues. I don't know what's going on with him.
Right now, IDK is 3 laps down already after just 31 laps as he quickly makes the jump onto pit road once again. And, whoa, the 48 car, Michael Maroots. Way below. Nearly hit that inside wall. Probably got loose off of 2. We're starting to get into that trend of tires starting to fall off. Drivers starting to get a bit more loose off of corners. And, oh, the 38 car, Baskinger.
Yeah, it's like, guys, right here when in this part of the run, I was going everywhere. Those rear tires, they would not want to rip into the pavement at all. So guys, a lot of guys, even though some of them look like they're pretty steady, some of these guys are dirt tracking it.
Yeah, man. Oh, really? We've had 2 drivers that have just lost it. The 12 and 38 cars. You see now the 00 car, Michael Rossi Jr. getting by the 88 car of Jarrett Lundberg, going to put him 1 lap down.
It's the battle for 6 right now. We got our 2 top running rookies right now. Roots and 6 and drive-through and 7. Drive-through, he's going to give him a little bit of a bumper to the back of Roots, but drive-through, he's closed on Roots a little bit.
Ooh, bit of contact. Roots got pushed off the track right in front of him.
IDK.
And drive-through takes a spot back from the 48 car, but here goes Maroots back on the inside, way below on the inside lane. But will not do anything about it. He will settle in behind drive-through. Well, pretty impressive from the 77 car, the rookie out of Canada. He's been getting to a few issues, 25 and the 48 car, but so far keeping his pace and slowly making his way towards the front.
Yes, showing great long range speed as he got it on Roots, and now he's looking at the back of that 22 car, Brendan Littell.
That's for 5th place.
I believe that's for the top 5 position, and yeah, talked about a little bit in the pre-race, so I think he's the highest performing rookie right now, and Roots may be coming on the pit road right here. And he is.
Yes, coming onto pit road, the 48 car.
Start seeing some inside pit stops this soon.
Yeah, he might start the cycle. We're on lap 35-36 already. Oh, here's the battle for position. The 25 and the 85 of Raw Gator and or Trey Normal and Darren Gilliam. As the 25 car easily gets by him.
So with Roots now coming down pit road, interesting to see how quickly everyone's going to come down. We talked about earlier in the pre-race show that it's about 1.5 to almost 2 seconds per lap tire fall off at the end of the run compared to fresh tires. So think about it. We're turning about the fastest laps here are about a 20.8, 20.9. And if you're running mid-22s, wow, you know, you're making up, in just a couple laps, you could have almost a half a lap on somebody.
Right, well, we're talking about, we didn't mention this, but lap traffic could be an issue when I was looking at the 27 car Dale Reynolds. The 27 car actually caught up. He gained some ground on the 00 car, but Cody Hicken, last week's Daytona 250 winner, came right in front of him and cost Reynolds a lot of momentum on the race leader.
It'll be interesting too. I think as soon as that window opens, as soon as they complete maybe lap 50, I wouldn't be surprised to see that come in a lap earlier and get whatever advantage that he can right now on that 00.
Let's see. Oh, someone else came up pit road. What's that? Let's take a look. The 88 car. They're Lombardi. I believe he's 1 or 2 laps down.
And it's interesting to see, though, that we haven't seen more guys pit. So once this eventually all cycles out, maybe it's a little bit earlier for Moose to come down pit road.
Right now, we're about to hit lap 46 in this race. So this should be around the pit window, 45 to 55 laps.
Roots obviously short pitted. Jarrett came just inside the pit window. Roots may be on a 4-stop strategy right now, but it looks like everyone else is just trying to make this a 3-stop strategy. There we go. We got leading lap last time to come down pit road. 85 of Raw Gator. He's on.
Raw Gator on pit road. No one comes in with him. He'll be all alone.
Right on board 27 of Dale Reynolds. Right on is on board and just kind of watching when he or that 00 going to start coming down pit road. They got almost a full straightaway on the 3rd place car of What If behind them.
They were racing for a bit, and they're still being able to drive away from 3rd place.
Yeah, and then actually I put out a poll last night on Twitter with our 2 short track races we had last year. Our top 4 guys that had the best average finishes at short tracks were Ed, Soundhead, What If, Dale Reynolds, and Joseph Lombard. But the 5th best guy with average finishes last year was that 00 of Michael Cossi. So he's definitely a decent short track racer. But yeah, so far those guys with the best average short track finishes right now are the ones that are doing well.
Speaking of the drivers that you mentioned there, the 2 and the 1, Pasternak and Ed Soundhead, both making their scheduled pit stops, as well as the 82 and 22, Brendan Littell and Joseph Lombard. As you see Littell coming off the pit road right now. So you can get a view, as well as Darian Gilliam, he comes on pit road.
One car I want to keep an eye on is going to be, look at all these 3 cars, they're going to come off pit road at the same time. Ed Soundhead, What If, and Joseph Lombard.
Ed Soundhead gets out first. Pasternak, and then right in front of Michael Maroots.
Remember Maroots, he came in about 10 laps earlier. Now these guys are going to have better tires right now, but look at all that ground he's gained up on him. Like I said, he came in about 10 laps earlier than them, and he made up about half a lap on him. That shows you how important that fresh tires are.
Soundhead just hit the wall. Here goes Pasternak to the inside, Pasternak to the inside of him for position. Right now, Maroots, he's in 9th place.
I think Cossi would keep it, and he just came off pit road.
Look, see if we can find him. There he is.
Dale's coming off pit road right now, and wow.
Look at the gap.
2 laps earlier does. Remember, Dale, he was right on his back bumper of Michael Cossi. Now Cossi almost a full straightaway ahead of that 27.
Now, technically, he's still not the race leader. He will be once pit stops go by. Currently, the race leader is a 77 car of drive-through. 2nd place is, or just should say, driver just came on the pit road right now. So Michael Cossi Jr. will take the lead there. It's a 77 car just coming out of the pit road right now. No, a battle for position here, I believe, is for position 28.
There's stop on the front stretch.
Oh.
You got to go in the
front stretch?
He's got going now.
Wow. Yo, look at this little battle right here. 4 cars. The 28, the 40, the 22, and the 82.
Right down to 82. Oh, that's almost 3 wide right there. Roots a little bit of a shot. Here's the thing, Roots, he has the oldest tires right now, short pitting. So while short pitting, it can give you some time on a race track, just once everyone does end up coming down pit road, they're going to have, obviously fresher tires to do. So he's got to do what he can to pull up the guys behind him to have fresher tires.
Cody Hicken out in front of that little bunch. That's for the 11th position.
And he is a lap down right now.
Oh, he is a lap down?
Yep.
Oh, yes. Alright. And then also, these drivers behind him are also as well. As Lombard drove it in turn 3, Hicken with the crossover. Here comes Lombard back again to the inside. But stays in line at turn 1.
It's interesting to see how Cody's racing this lead lap car of Lombard right now. Keep in mind, Lombard, Cody hits the wall right there, but Lombard, he came off pit road dead even with the 2 car and the 1 car. And look how far ahead they've driven away from.
I mean, right now, Hicken and Lombard, they are racing for position. So this is for 11th place. We're going to stay in this camera view for a little bit because this is one of the few battles that's actually going on.
So finally got rid of him. We'll put 22. He's going to try to make sure that 28 he does.
There's him easily. Let's take a look back out in front. 00 car Michael Costa Jr. And looking in front of look how far back the 27 car is to him.
Amazing, and he didn't have that. Remember, he didn't have the best short run speed, and like, yeah, he got a decent gap mile on pit road, but he's stretched that lead since pit stops. And oh, Marutz is around.
Oh, in the wall, the 48 car.
On the outside, off the must
Caution.
have got Marutz or something.
No caution is out, but he will go a lap down.
Yeah, everyone's pretty spread out right now, so like, with there not really being any battles right now, let's kind of take some time to go through the field. 00, Michael Costa Jr., he had a great Speed Weeks last weekend. Not Speed Weeks, Days of Thunder. And won his dual race, led about the first third of 250. And he almost came just short of winning the shootout. So proving that he doesn't have speed at just these plate tracks, but he can race at these short tracks and everywhere else as well.
Let's look now at Dale Reynolds in the 27 car. Can look at him, there he is. He's got a long ways to go. 2018 Season 1 champion of the Core League. He had a pretty mundane Days of Thunder, didn't really do much. Finishes in 11th to 12th place, I believe, in the Daytona 250. Spinner has a pretty good car. Not the best car. He was able to maintain pace on that last before green flag was up to place with the Livestream car by Costa Jr. Settled in 2nd place.
Our guy running in 3rd right now, right in front of him, I believe Raw Gator is a lap down. So the car running in 3rd right now is What If Racing. What If came almost so close to that championship last year, but once we ran this string of short tracks in the season last year, that's when he started to shine. He was our winner in Bristol last year, and so far he has a great run right now, running in the top 3.
Let's take a look at who's running in 4th place.
That's Ed.
That's Soundhead. Oh, there he is. Was one of the big 3 last year. Wasn't really, well, he was part of the big 3, but wasn't really a big factor. Was had a very, very unlikely shot at winning the championship last year. But he's trying to ride that momentum from a 3rd place run into this season. Ran pretty good in the Daytona 250. Didn't have any flashy moments, but just ran the entire race, kept his nose clean, was able to finish the race inside the top 10. Currently running in the 4th spot. And I believe there's no one even around him to challenge for 5th.
But actually about 2 seconds behind him, 77, the drive-thru, just got around that 22 car of Brendan Littell, but 77 car drive-thru so far. Great first 2 races of the year he's had so far. Drive-thru, keep in mind, he was one of those guys that, he was the last car, I believe, that came down to pit road, so he has the freshest tires right now. Just got around Brendan Littell, and he's going to see if he gets that 2 car.
He's also got to be careful, though, because even though you do have the freshest tires, you don't want to use them up right away to just try and chase down 4th place at Soundhead. He is doing that. It's just, hopefully, he's able to keep his tires conservative.
See here, and then right behind drive-thru, running in 6th is Brendan Littell, a 22 car. something like, he's one of those quietly aggressive guys. Like, people, they don't really talk about him a lot, but he has great speed, and he's fallen off a little bit as people look to the inside of drive through there, try to take the 6th position back, but not doing terrible. He just has a decent run going for him right now. We're going to see if he can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, he and Justin Lombard working very well together last weekend at Daytona, so did the California boys. The entire race, they were just together until the very end. Yeah, hopefully he can settle in a good one right now, battling with 5th place driver drive-through. Behind him is one of his California boys, Justin Lombard, in 7th.
And Lombard, he had the 4th best average finish last year on the short tracks. Had a great run at Martinsville, and didn't have the best of runs at Martinsville. Or he had a 2nd place at Martinsville. Didn't have the best of runs at Bristol. Apologize for that, but yeah, so far he's showing decent strength right now, running in the 7th position.
Who's running in 8th? I believe it's the 59 car, if I'm not mistaken.
Look here, we're going through the field.
Yeah, thanks to the limitation of NASCAR Heat 4, we kind of have to,
Contact front straightaway in Roots. He hit the wall and came down to Gator.
Oh.
He's going to get it going, man. That's right in front of What If.
And third place. Oh, and it spun his IDK player, Jonathan Ramos, right in front of Michael Marouz and the 1 car Pasternak. The 85 car of Norwell spins.
Sent down, and he got sent down pit road too, so
85 no.
Gator not only was he a lap down, but he was a lap down because I believe he sped on pit road during that first round of green flag pit stops. So far a bad day going worse for that 85.
No caution. I'm surprised there wasn't a caution for that. He got T-bowed.
If I was a majority of the drivers right now, I'd be maybe trying to say something to either Adams or whatnot about that 12 car in 90K. He has just been loose and spinning out like all over this racetrack. He's got to be about 5-6 laps down at this point, and you gotta imagine, like when do admins take something to effect here?
Also, the 38 car, Jake Baskinger. I mean, he has been awful. I mean, sorry to be super blunt, but he's just been terrible so far in these past 2 races. He's hitting the wall by himself on back straightaways, which is, how do you do that? And now he's spinning himself around hitting walls this weekend at Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, now he is a rookie, so there may be some leniency in that, but we're riding on him. I'm looking at he's in front of Brendan Littell right now, and he was just riding the wall all the way down the front straightaways. So
you say that
it's got to be a mix of like just inexperience and terrible handling hard here.
Here's the thing, I would agree with you to a point, but when you talk about rookies, guess who just went by him? The 77 car drive-thru, and he is closing gap tremendously to the 2 car Ed Soundhead. We have an opportunity to challenge him, I believe, for the 5th spot. Drive-thru goes up top, Soundhead down low. I believe there's 83, 84 laps in here in the Iceberg 200. But Michael Costa Jr. still your race leader. He's disconnected.
Yeah, did you send me that invite like I asked before, or you started jumping in?
I'm pretty sure I did, yeah.
Because I don't have one.
I could have sworn I sent you an invite.
I don't see it. Let's see. I'll see if I can figure that out.
Yeah, I know I sent you an invite. I know that, but are you sure it's not in there? Cody Workman fixed with his issues that he has on the internet. Let's focus here on 5th place. Ed sounding at drive-through. Drive-through dives into, makes contact, closes the 2 car up the hill, and by goes the 77 car for 5th place. Drive-through on a roll. Great start for that 77 car rookie. Oh, 48 car Michael Roots spins, comes back onto pit road. Michael Roots, I mean, we talk about him as a hopeful to see if he could continue that momentum from his 2 starts he had before last season, and unfortunately not going his way. I believe he spun entering 3 and 4, and as a result forced onto pit road. Meanwhile, the 00 car has had no issues. So race leader about to put the 82 car of Joseph Lombard 1 lap down. As he's about to complete lap 90 in this race. We got Mike Costa, the race leader, 2nd place. Oh, and in the grass, Jonathan Ramos. That car has been awful so far in his race today.
I'm on my way back.
Oh, hello.
So we're good.
All right, you're back on?
Yeah, I'm just filming up, so
all right.
I will be able to watch the track momentarily.
All right, there we go. Good, because I was dying there, just having silence. See, I don't know about this. Is one of those races I feel like where we should have had some strict cautions. I mean, but then again, we had Jonathan Ramos who I think spin 5 or 6 times in this race. So right now he's still race leader of the 00 car. He's got a 38 car. The Jake Baskin Jr. who goes up to the high lane. Also in front is a 22 car of Brendan Littell. Meanwhile, the 77 car of drive-through, he's now trying to find his next target. I believe that is the 28 or 27. I think it's the 28 car was in 4th place.
Yeah, these guys are going to start battling here, but something to keep in mind here in a little bit, we're going to have green flag pit stops here coming up soon.
Alrighty.
We're approaching lap 100.
And is the 59 car, is he for position? No, he's not.
I believe he is 1 lap down.
He is 1 lap. Okay.
I apologize. I'm still trying to.
Okay, because the way the Walrus was, looked like he was trying to put the bumper to the 77 car, moving it very deep. Looked like he was for position. So there is Dale Reynolds. I mean, look at the gap between him and 1st place. Oh, as the 00 car, looks like he might have gotten loose off of 2, and then just keep it going, but that gap will for sure shrink just a little bit. And as Workman just talked about it, we're already looking at some other drivers' live streams, and we're seeing some of their tire notifications start to go off, indicating that hey, we need to start paying for tires very soon. Alright, we're seeing some people in the comments talking about, the ticker problems. I believe this just talks about the drivers on how they started the race. I don't think it actually goes into where they're actually running. We could be wrong, but I don't think we should rely on that for information, as the 28 and the 59 car had a little moment there off of 2, as we see drivers on pit road, the 1 and the 2 car, as well as the 88 car and the 82. 100 laps to go. We're halfway here in the Iceberg 200. Michael Costa Jr. as well on pit road. It's going to be interesting to see from him if he can be able to get out at first place. There he goes. I believe Dale Reynolds, who was second place at the time, he stayed out. There he is. Now he's just coming out to pit road. So we're going to keep this camera angle. We're actually going to go to Costa Jr. He just went by the 27 car of Reynolds. One lap down as the 77 car driver who was race leader just smacked the wall. He now comes onto pit road. Let's see if the double zero car is able to get ahead of Reynolds. There's Reynolds. Reynolds just leaves and Costi drives by. So Michael Costi Jr. will retain the race lead. Well, he will retain the race, I should say, once the Brendan Littell and Drive Through come on to pit road, because they currently haven't made their pit stops yet. There's Drive Through who's currently on pit road right now. There is the double zero car. Whoa, did he actually get out in front of him? He came out in front of him. No, okay, he's a race leader. Okay. So, no, Costa Jr. is a race leader, and he just put the 77 car 1 lap down. Okay, I thought at first they were battling for position, but no. Costa Jr. just put Drive Through 1 lap down. Second place. Dale Reynolds, there he is. And the gap got even bigger, I feel like, than the last pit stop. 4.3 seconds the gap is between Reynolds and Michael Costa Jr. Off of turn 4 this time by, it will be 92 laps to go. Michael Costa Jr. here at Richmond. So far, 0 cautions, but we've had some incidents revolving around the 12 car of Jonathan Ramos. He has been the center for a majority of the crashes, including involving a couple drivers, the 85 car Trey Norma, the 48 car Michael Marutz, as well as the 48 car Michael Marutz. He was competing in his first short track race here at Richmond. He has made 2 previous starts in Michigan and Chicagoland, a 2-miler and a 1.5 miler respectively. He entered in this race with the best average finish, 1.5. That will for sure drop after this race today, as he is he's about to go, I believe, another lap down to Michael Costa Jr., who is right behind him. So I believe these drivers do have to make one more pit stop. It's now under 90 laps to go. Remember, they can only make 45 to 55 laps on a tank of fuel. 45 to 55 laps, I should say, on a tank of fuel. Goes here, now goes underneath the 48 car Maroons, trying to put him a lap down. Looks like he did not do that successfully. 48 car holds him off, and now the 00 car entering 3 and 4 easily gets by him, as well as drive-through now, who's battling the 48 car. Ooh, whoa, bit of contact between the two. Side by side entering 3. .48 car gets ahead of him, but drive through all over his back bumper. I don't believe they're on the lead lap. Drive through takes the lead right back from him, or takes the position away from him. Currently 5th on back is 1 lap down. The only drivers that are currently on the lead lap is Michael Costi Jr., Dale Reynolds, Brian Pasternak, and Ed Soundhead. Reynolds 3.7 seconds behind the race leader. And then What If Racing or Brian Pasternak 13.7 seconds behind, with Ed Soundhead nearly 20 seconds behind. There's Reynolds. Speaking of Ed Soundhead, oh, and in the grass is the 12 car IDK. Oh my goodness. More issues with him. I mean, he just had a horrible race tonight. He's just trying to get this thing over with, make sure this thing ends and he doesn't affect any of the drivers. Jake Baskinger on pit road. Let's look at Winval. He's trying to put 4th place driver Ed Soundhead 1 lap down. Soundhead, wow, very wise move from him. Goes way up the racetrack and just gives the spot away to, or gives the his lead lap away to Michael Costa Jr. Does not bother trying to battle with him, conserves his tires. So now he will go 1 lap down and 4th place. So now there's only 3 drivers: Brian Pasternak, Dale Reynolds, and Michael Costa Jr.
I am back, my friend. I deeply apologize.
It's fine. Look.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll say though, I just have my phone right now. I'm not on my laptop, so just in case the chat may or may not be able to hear me. But I think we should be good though.
Alright, no, they can hear you though. Alright, let's take a look at some other drivers here. Less than 80 laps to go. 3 drivers are on the lead lap. This race, I mean, it's very difficult to find it entertaining. Let's just say that.
Question I actually had though, that 2 car, he was right behind that 00 Michael Costi. Is that 2 car? Is he a lap down?
Yes, he's a lap down.
Wow, he must have had a bit more speeding penalty or something, because he was right there with that 1 car not too far behind him, and obviously I believe the 1 car is still on the lead lap, but dang, this 00 Michael Costi, he is putting on a phenomenal pace.
Yeah, right now, Brian Pasternak, 3rd place, 15 seconds behind, and Dale Reynolds, 4 seconds behind. So, yeah, I mean, he's put on a clinic. We've had this is so far has been the race. Jonathan Ramos and Jake Baskinger causing hell for some of the other competitors, and Michael Costa Jr. putting on a clinic against the rest of the competition.
Gotcha. Well, since there's not really any actions, I don't know if you did live as well, but have we done a new segment yet?
No, we haven't. I guess we should do it now.
Yeah.
All right. So last week in Daytona, we weren't able to do that, but we brought Crank It Up. You know, as a way to sort of add something new to the broadcast. Well, to sort of differentiate ourselves from Fox, instead of cranking up, we're gonna go hardcore. Alright, so that was hardcore. Sorry if it wasn't as, how can I say it? Sorry if it wasn't as much as we hoped it would be. You know, with the cars being spread a lot more, but hopefully next weekend at Homestead. This Thursday, not Sunday, on the Core League YouTube channel. It could be a lot more exciting. But yeah, it's a new summer break. Yeah, we're going to bring in a lot of new things, hopefully, with Core on MDK, with me and Cody Workman. To make an upside down! Michael Cossie Jr. upside down.
So that caution's out.
Caution is out. The 85 car of Normal sideways.
Oh boy, this changes everything.
Oh.
I think we did hardcore just about 5 minutes too early, my friend.
Oh my God.
What happened with the 85 Gator, he was stopped going into 3, and I don't know what happened, but 28 was there too, and yeah, when the 00 just drove in the Gator, that threw him up in the air. So here's the thing, we got our 3 lead lap cars. We got Cossie, we got Dale Reynolds, and I believe What If, and then next car, first car as a lap down was Ed Soundhead. So
we got
baby.
We got 63 laps to go. Wow. Okay, well, we should have done a hardcore about now. Okay, restart. 3 drivers, I believe, on the lead lap because none of them
new
pitted.
leader.
New leader.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 races going on right now. Not just this lead battle, but also guys are gonna be fighting for that free pass with the amount of guys trapped here a lap down.
Yeah, so right now only 4 drivers on the lead lap. You got Brian Pasternak, Michael Costa Jr., Dale Reynolds, and Ed Soundhead. So Soundhead gets back on the lead lap with that free pass. So for the 3rd leader this race, Brian Pasternak. Look at that.
Listening to, we haven't seen that one car in the lead at all. Like at the first few laps of the race, it was Dale Reynolds, and then once the 0-0 of Michael Cassie Jr. got around Dale, he's been taking charge of this race since that point. So this is new territory right now.
I think we should also pay attention to is the fact that, you know, cars, they sometimes usually handle differently when they're out in front compared to when they're
sorry
in
to
the back.
interrupt you, but we got these guys battling that first car in the lead lap behind here. Looks like Lombard, he just got around Roots, but here comes Roots back down to the inside.
And he's got a hungry pack of wolves behind him, drive through the 77 car as well as the 25 car. Gilliam looked like Lombard was trying to go underneath, but the 77 car was there.
I gotta look too. I'm not sure if Merch is 1 lap down or 2 laps down. I know he spun earlier, so he may be 2 laps down. So if that's the case, your guys that are fighting for that free pass right now, right behind him, Joseph Lombard. That black car, I believe that's steering.
Oh, 3 wide.
3 wide.
Woo! Did not think that was gonna work.
Rusty. I think that's Rusty looking.
Yeah, and the 59 car underneath the 82 car of Lombard. 3 wide again, still. Whoa, man! Where was this racing at the start of the thing?
Well, they got all spread out. Now that we're all bunched up together again. In this thing, I think one car. Look at Roots. He's a lap down, but he's going to try to get one of his laps back the hard way by driving around these leaders. That 48 car, he may be the fastest car on track right now.
Yeah, but the issue is that he's 1 lap down, and I mean, look took the pass halfway. We're now coming around to take lap 145 of this race, and only 1 caution. So he's gonna need a lot of luck if he wants to be able to maybe have a shot at this thing.
Now, can we get a confirmation? Is he 1 or 2 laps down?
I'm looking at other streams. I can't say right now. He is. Oh my! Wow, he's 7 laps down.
Oh, that
in 11th place. In 11th place. Oh, contact! 82 car of Lombard. He hit the wall after making contact with the 25 car of Gilliam. I think so. Either it was the 25 or the 59. They're the same car.
Yeah, they.
Take a look back at the 0-0 car of Michael Cassie Jr. And he's not been able to close in on the 1 car of Brian Pasternak. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. And yes, again, if you don't hear him, Workman is having issues. Look, I mean, this everything's going wrong with this race. Pasternak goes up top, Cozy down low, trying to get the drive off the corner. Pasternak does. And this is going to be interesting because with how Mike Cassie Jr. he has an estimated 45 laps around the tank and field. And I believe that's how all the other drivers are like. And speaking of the 0-0 cars, he's got a fender underneath Pasternak for the lead. Pasternak leads this lap entering 1, and he will clear the 0-0 car. Like I was saying, we got 49 laps, or 48 and a half laps ago, I should say. And all these drivers are around 44 to 45 laps on the take a fuel as the 0-0 car nudges his way underneath the 1 car, pushes him up the track side by side for the lead. Pasternak still leads this lap, but look, they've got company. The 27 car, Dale Reynolds. We got 2 of the big 3 as here comes Cozy Jr. side by side with the 1 car down the back straightaway entering 3. Entering turns 3, Cozy has a bit of an edge, so side by side, the 1 car hugging him very closely. Well, the 0-0 car way below on the inside, tries to clear him entering 1. Can he do it? I believe he got it. 0-0 car, Cozy Jr. back out in front as the 1 car settles in for 2nd.
All right, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
as now here comes the 1
about...
car. Sorry to cut you off there, but the 1 car now back to the inside, and now look at the 27
3
car.
wide. looking straight wide, but these guys, they're going so hard because he has by far the best long run car, so they can't let him get in front of these medium to long run.
Right now, the one car has probably the preferred line, has a run underneath the 00 car. Can he clear him off of 4? He does.
It does. He's going to try a crossover right here.
Oh, cut him off.
Driving it through there.
And he takes the lead by force.
Oh, here comes Dale Reynolds. He's going to do an over-under. He's on the inside of the passenger.
Reynolds a second now.
Ooh, they're racing hard. Oh, he gets loose. He's going to throw the one.
And look what that just happened. That allows the 00 car to get away. He is loving this action between these two drivers.
Hey, well, I thought that was the 2 car for a second, but no, it was just Bruce, so he failed. He flew me a bit, but yeah, yes. So, I mean, we didn't talk about Ed Soundhead. Yeah, he did get his lap back, but he had to start behind all that lap traffic, and it wasn't just lap traffic. It's pretty fast cars too, with there only being 4 cars on the lead lap. So he's taking a decent amount of time working through there, but not at the rate that he needs to catch these guys.
The tough part about this part is the fact that the 00 car is out in front, and it doesn't look like the 27 car is closing in.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I know that, I believe, like when that last caution came out, it was just on the outside edge of that pit window. And,
yeah.
Well, maybe, like, you can maybe make a case for some of these guys to make it on fuel. I don't know if their tires are going to make it, especially for about those 5-10 laps that we saw these guys battling at that part. So I don't think their tires can make it that far. So with that being said, you know, it's going to be one stop, but when do they make that stop? Do they split it up in half? Do they run about 20 laps and then pit and then like run the last 40, or do they run 40 and then 20? Do they even do something as extreme as doing 2 right sides?
Here's the interesting part about this. None of the top 3 that are on the lap can make it. All of them have run an estimated field for around 37 to 38 laps, and we've got 40 laps to go. So, I mean, as a driver right now,
you can save it.
I mean,
you can, with the amount of off throttle time that you have, especially going into turn 1 and 2 here, like if
caution! Caution! Oh no, we didn't even get to see it. Who was it?
Something must have happened on the back stretch because I got a good view down the front stretch. Nothing happened there. It may have happened with the guys in the middle of the pack or in the back, but I believe that's going to give the free pass to drive through.
Wow, that's going to be... Now, this sort of should just clear up all of any concerns about making it on fuel or making it on tires, because now all of them are going to for sure pit. And it was... I'm looking at Cody H Gaming's live stream right now. It was the 82, and I believe the 59 car. Either the 59 or the 25 car.
Here's something else to think about too. You know, are any of these lap down guys, are they going to take any sort of gamble or try to get a wave around here?
I don't know. All right, we're coming back for the restart. All right, let's see if we can get this right. Michael Costa Jr. is the race leader. Second place is Dale Reynolds. Third is Brian Pasternak. Fourth is Ed Soundhead. And 5th place is driver, I believe, green flag in the air. Whoa! Closing way up the racetrack. 3 wide.
What if on the bottom?
What if he has a run on the inside of Costa Jr. entering 3 and 4?
Oh, and here comes Ed. He drives it in
Whoa!
there. Gets into 27.
And the 2 cars goes up the track. 3 wide for the lead. Whoa, this is not going to work. Ed, oh my God, Ed saw him, but he's not in the clear though. 4 wide.
This is right here though, from a lap down to the lead. Here he goes, 1 in the 3, but the 00, he's right on his bumper. He's going to slide up a little bit. 00 inside.
Side by side, 00 and 2 car by Sound on the outside lane at the line. Coasting leads this lap. Wow, Sound trying to go for a crossover maybe.
He's going to cross over right here. He's going to diamond this corner off. He's peeking on the inside, but that 00, he got a good drive off. But
wow,
look at the back of this field. We got to change for 4th right now. Drive through. He's made it through the entire field of lap down cars.
He's trying to get by the 22 car, Brendan Littell.
Having 27 car, Dale Reynolds, he's falling back in the pack. He's getting passed by these lap down cars. He was going in the absolute wrong direction right now.
Wow, what a crazy turn of events so far in this restart. So right now, Michael Costa Jr. is out in the race lead. Soundhead in second. Regardless,
He's falling off a bit though.
Yeah, he is falling off. Here comes. Whoa! And nearly hit the wall.
So as you can see here, yeah, like Ed, like he must not have a decent like mid-run speed. That's really bizarre. He had a great car. Like I think he's just gotten off his rhythm or something. He had a phenomenal first couple laps there, but he's fallen back. He's now 77, the drive-through. He's out of his third. He's trying to look for third.
Well, regardless what happens to Soundhead, I think that is worthy of a main event move of the race. 3 wide and was able to clear him. Wow, as now drive-through clears the 2 car.
Make that, wow. What a rebound for a drive-through. He was a lap down. It was the second car a lap down under that first caution that came out. Second caution that just came out just a little bit ago, which is our last one. We got not only did he get the free pass, but he drove through that entire field. When you're the free pass car, you have to start behind all of the lap down cars, and he just drove through all of them.
Now he's got his eyes set on the 1 car of Pasternak, who I believe is 7/8 of a second behind.
And about drive-through though, I mean, he can't let that double zero get out too far ahead, but he had one of the best long-run cars in my opinion. So, I mean, he's about 2 seconds behind right now, but keep an eye on him.
Yeah, right now he is 1 second behind. Or no, I should say 2. Yeah, you're right, 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I was looking at Brian Pasternak's stream. Maintained so far 8 to 9 tenths between first, second, and third. At least from Costa Jr. to Brian Pasternak is 8 to 9 tenths, as well as from second to third.
I guess one thing, a good thing that as far as from being able to track these guys, that these top 5, the first 5 cars on track right now, they are the top 5 cars on the lead lap. The only 5 cars on the lead lap, I believe, unless we have some cars take a wave around.
Yeah, no, you're right. Only 5 cars on the lead lap. Lap 176 in the books out of 200 here in the Iceberg 200 at Richmond Raceway. Great workman, Jack Russell on the call. Costa Jr. has dominated this thing so far, but he had a bit of company those last few laps. Right on the 1 car, Pasternak trying to close the gap. Right now, it has maintained a 1 second gap between him and Costa Jr.
Yeah, with the just being just over 20 laps to go, that's not going to be that long of a run, though. So if you're some of these guys in the back, like Dale Reynolds, he's trying to make a move on the 2 car, and that's Soundhead. You got to be making moves now because, like, 20 laps at a short track, they're going to go by fast.
Make that 23 laps to go.
We got car in the grass.
Oh, that's a 12 car again. He's going to come up.
Right up in front of the leaders. Come on, dude, get out of the way.
Oh, man. And he probably just cost drive-through a lot of momentum.
Yeah, he had to that 77 car.
Yeah, oh man, that's. I mean, I don't know. I think when you're in a situation like Jonathan Ramos, what is the point of participating? I mean, you're clearly in the way. I mean, I don't know. Would you think he should just pull aside and just not cause any more problems?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that issue is. It's going to be something that Avalanche are going to have to look at. But, you know, I think the thing we need to focus on right now is this quite a race we have going on right now. This 1 car, 00, Akasi, he started to pull away a little bit. But what if he started to make up a little bit of ground?
Look at right now. Yeah, the gap will close down a tenth or two that time by. But I think we got to give a huge shout out to that 77 car drive-through. I mean, in his second start, what a run he has had. Even though right now he's getting challenged for 4th place with Dale Reynolds, has been a superb performance for the Canadian. In his second start, he was able to come from 1 lap down to be able to get back in the top 5 and have a shot at the top 3. As here comes Reynolds to the inside of him for 4th place, for 3rd place, which just say gives him a little nudge.
Yeah, Dale, he may get around him because I think Dale may just have a slightly better car than that 77. But I mean, whether he gets 3rd or 4th, I mean, what a great day for the 77 so far. You know, being a rookie, second career core race. I know he was, in my opinion, out of all the rookies that we had, I just had a feeling that, I felt like he was going to be the strongest performing rookie out of our rookie class this year. And so far, he was the #1 rookie.
Indeed. Maintaining a third place run. 16 laps to go. This time by here at Richmond. Or I should say 15 and a half. As Cody Jr. drives into 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's opened that lead up to it.
15 to go. And he has opened the gap up 0.3 of a second more than what it was last time by. It was around 1.3, now it's 1.7.
Yeah, as far as maybe this lap traffic is coming on right now, it's a third. I think that's both the 38 of
and the 12
Massinger and the 12. So the two cars that have been practically in the way the most the entire night. If you're at 00 right now, you're holding your breath.
Yeah, you're just praying to get by them without causing any trouble.
Oh, Brooks is around. He's
nearly clipped. Wait, whoa, what is he doing? Right in front of Pasternak. What in the world? And Pasternak is loose. He is losing it below the apron. Here comes the 27 car Reynolds.
That also cost the 77 some time too, and he's fallen into the clutches of that 2 car. That's Soundhead for 4th.
Wow. I mean.
Wow. Hey, what's going on here?
I don't know, but that was. Look, we've been hyping him up for some time, but what in the world was Marutz thinking? I mean, looking from.
I'm not sure what. I mean, he had it locked down up top, and he just came straight down.
Yeah, right it down right in front of the 1 car. I mean, that's. Well, it might be a bit harsh, but that's an absolute stupid move.
And that's cost his 27 car, Dale Reynolds. He's going to peek to the inside of 1 for second.
Yeah, that just costed the 1 car so much momentum. It went from a 1.7 gap to now a 3.5.
Oh, that basically handed the win over to the 00 in case we get a caution.
Yeah, I mean
I have to think, maybe some of these guys that are all over the place, and gosh, I wonder if they stayed on to that last caution because they're driving they have 40-lap old tires. But Dale, he's going to give that 1 a bumper. They're side by side coming off the corner. Dale may beat them down in there.
This time by it will be 10 laps remaining as the 27 the 1 car still battling out for 2nd place. And Reynolds will be able to get that spot for 2nd. So 10 laps to go here at Richmond.
Yeah, and Kostic, he's got a full straightaway ahead of these guys right now. So if you're not 00, you're not focused on running fast laps. You're just focused on about running consistent laps and not getting caught up in the circus that's going on this racetrack right now from a few individuals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see, also, while the 27 and the 1 are battling out for second, that's allowed the 77 to drive through the closing a little bit as well as that 2 car. So it's going to be an interesting battle from 2nd through 5th, potentially.
Entering 3 and 4. Let's take a look at the 00 car. 7 laps to go. And I believe that was the 12 car who just went headfirst into the inside wall again. I mean, this is just ridiculous with this 12 car.
Yep. Our leader coming up on more lap traffic here, but these guys, they've kind of helped run more of a clean nose all night. And these guys are going to be battling for position too. But I just hope that as much as they're wanting to battle for position, it looks like the 59 of Rusty Walrus, 85 of Raw Gator, and 28 of Cody Yates. I just hope when the 00 gets up to there that they'll be respectful.
Hope so. We don't want to see another incident we saw with the 48 and the 1.
Yeah, how many laps to go?
I believe, you just crossed start finish line. We now have 4.5 laps remaining. Michael Costi Jr. has a 5-second gap on 2nd place. Dale Reynolds 3rd. Brian Pasternak 4th. Drive-through and 5th. Ed Soundhead. Now 4 to go.
And what a drive for this double zero. I mean, he's showed great speed at Days of Thunder. He's got some cars getting loose. Rusty, he's going to hang on to it. But yeah, he had a great Days of Thunder. Won his duel, almost won the shootout, and was doing great at the 250 before getting caught in some mess. But you know, he's backing up his performance today, and he's just about 2.5 laps away from his
first Core League victory. Workman just cut out there for a bit there. 2 laps to go now. We thought Dale Reynolds might have had a shot of it. He won the Side Entertainment Pull Award as the 59 car wall smacked the wall.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to jump in the lobby. I'm just going to do that. But
all right. Here we go. Entering 3 and 4 for the second to last time of the event. And off of turn number 4, white flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Black Flags Matter. Entering 1 and 2 for the final time is Michael Cossi Jr. He had a really good speed weeks, or days of Thunder, as mentioned before by Cody Workman. Half a lap to go. He has put on a clinic, led almost every lap today. And coming off turn 4, Michael Cossi Jr. wins his first Core League victory. He wins the Iceberg 200 from Richmond Raceway. And he couldn't have done it without him, as his victory was fueled by unloaded Cube 88. What a dominating performance for Cossi Jr.
Finally broke 2-2. That is his first ever win here in the Core League. You know, definitely, yeah, think about, we were talking about, you know, potential guys to keep an eye on for the championship this season, maybe some sleepers. Maybe some people may have thought him as a sleeper before this race, but with this one tonight, he's making himself a little bit more known.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now as we transition to face cam mode. Let's take a look at
the season.
Absolutely. So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to the 2019 Iceberg 200. Sorry if my voice is a bit congested again. Hopefully next time I won't have any allergies, and hopefully next time Workman, your college will get its act together for next Thursday, where we go racing under the lights at the Homestead Miami Speedway for race 3 of the season. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Hopefully it's gonna be more entertaining than this race tonight. It was a decent race, but very underwhelming due to the fan response. So yeah, hopefully next week it'll be a lot more entertaining. But yes, thank you so much for watching On MDK's coverage of the 2019 Iceberg 200. Congratulations to Michael Costa Jr., your winner tonight here at Richmond.